It's called the big shift, the time when you make the switch from saving for retirement to spending in retirement. And if you're not prepared for it, it can often be a huge shock. To talk more about that now is Marcus Warren. He's a financial planner, radio talk show host, and author. You know, Marcus, we're always taught to save, 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 but then we have to make that switch to spending, and that can certainly be a shock to people.
Yeah, it can, and you know, there's a big transition when you go from working to retirement, because while you're working, all you're doing is putting money away. You're getting a paycheck from your employer, and you're working your way, we call it up that retirement mountain, right? And then finally you get to that summit, so to speak, the summit of the mountain, and that's when things shift. It shifts from getting that paycheck from that employer to now it shifts to now you have to come up with that paycheck, and you start that trek down the mountain. And there's a lot of different pitfalls that can happen and people think about. Of course, order of withdrawal, you know, do you take money from your tax deferred, your 401k, your Roth? Where do you take money from first? How much do you take out? What kind of returns will you get in retirement? Because now when the market is doing what the market does, which is go up and down, now you're taking money out. So what happens in the market is really crucial when you're in retirement. And so there's a lot of things that people have to be aware of when they make that shift.
And it can cause a lot of anxiety for people.
Yeah, and really, to say the least, it can cause a lot of anxiety, because what we have found out is that people just haven't saved enough, and people are becoming more reliant on their personal savings. I talk about it all the time. So we used to have pensions. Pensions basically are gone. People have Social Security, and then that third pillar is supposed to be what they've saved in that nest egg. And you know, there's that gap. There's a lot of times where there's that gap between your guaranteed income streams versus your retirement income, your retirement expenses, and it has to be filled with what you saved. And if you haven't saved enough, it does cause a lot of anxiety.
So what can folks do that are nearing retirement to start preparing for that spending phase?
Really, well, it all starts with a plan, some sort of system for success. You need to figure out what kind of income you're going to need in retirement, because retirement's all about income, right? Income that's going to last as long as you do, income that's going to keep up with the cost of inflation. And then you need to set a budget. You know, a lot of people don't like doing that. They don't like doing that when they were working, and they dang sure don't like doing that when they think about retirement, but you have to have some sort of budget. So those are some of the things that you need to do.
And do you think that baby boomers understand all the financial options that are available to them?
I don't, but I do know that once you know better, you can do better. And so a lot of times all retirees will focus on will be the rate of return investments, when there's so much more once you retire. Income planning, Social Security maximization, Medicare, Social Security, taxes. So there's so many things that are out there, and they really need to find somebody who can guide them along in that process.
All right, are you ready for that switch? Well, you need a solid financial plan. Schedule your one-on-one 15-minute phone call with Marcus now by going to www.talktomarcus.com. It's complimentary for Great Day Live viewers, but times are limited, so be sure to jot that website down and schedule your 15-minute phone call as soon as you can. That's talktomarcus.com. You can also call 502-339-8255 for more information.